I'm your boy Lyle Van Harris. I'm here. I got a beautiful guest. He's a long time assistant to Joe Jackson of the world famous Jackson 5 family, but he's now a stylist, fashion designer, and the creator of Wanwear, streetwear, and Wan Ali, the couture clothing collection. Man, he's a jack of all trades. I want to introduce you to Wan Ali. Hey, Wan, welcome to the show, man.
Hello. So it's an honor to be on the Lyle Stylist show.
Okay.
And
I appreciate it.
Shout out to the Iowa City, the people up there in Iowa City.
Yeah, thank you, man. They appreciate that. They appreciate you. Man, we've been talking for a while, man, and you know, I heard a lot of good things about you and all that you've been doing with your life out there in Vegas. But you know what? I want to ask you a question. How do you get started growing up in the streets in a project of Chicago? So tell us a little bit about your humble beginnings, how you started your journey.
Oh wow, you're gonna make me go back there. Huh?
Yeah, I did, man. I did.
Well, you know, tough. You know, I see a lot of kids today. They complain about, oh, mom not around, dad not around, but staying in the projects, Robert Taylor's, Cabrini Green, or the Henry Hornets, or the Ida B. Wells, would not want your parents raising you and being on your own since you was 17, you know, and not having to sell drugs and still survive and make it to school and make routes to be safe and not to be inducted in the game.
Right.
By using your brain and to be a little guy to outthink the smart bullies. So that's a book in itself.
Oh.
But it can be done. You know, you see a lot of stuff going on today, but it can be done if you strategically use your mind. Yeah, but it was tough, but I got through it. I'm here.
I know you started out the projects, man, in the rough projects out there. I grew up in Cabrini Green because I know how you feel and I know where you're coming from, man. But your story, man, is amazing for what you started into what you're doing now.
Oh, you know, Cedric, the 10 stories you talking about? Or what?
Yeah, I grew up 1157 North Cleveland, and Cabrini Green. Yeah, back in the day, man. I grew up went to Bird Elementary School, which is a school over there by Cooley High, and yeah, so I could relate.
Yeah, people see the good times, the buildings, but we happen to live in the real building. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And how did you take yourself out of that environment into where you're at now, man?
Well, you know, lucky I was one of the first guys. I guess my father left to raise us, was an old man, and he used to sit me on his lap while he was drawing. He was like probably 50-something or 60, and I would watch him draw. So watching him draw, I became an artist at 5. I've been drawing since I was 5 years old, winning an art scholarship out of high school. I was the only black guy in my class, black kid in my class with all whites, up to 40 years old. And many of them were actually sitting around my desk watching me work, and I didn't know, but I was the only black guy there for summer with a scholarship at that time.
Wow. What a testament.
My teacher saw something in me, Mr. Howard. If he's not alive, rest in peace. He actually wrote a letter to the Art Institute and it got me in there.
Wow, the Art Institute, that is
Chicago, yeah.
In Chicago, that's a good school. That's one of the best schools out there for art, for people that's majoring in any type of art, whether it's fashion, illustration, portraits, whatever. Yeah, you had a gift.
Yeah, I remember winning, representing the Chicago, I won a lot of contests, and a lot of them were second place. But if I would have had a family there to support me, I would show up and set up my art. And these festivals are all whites, and I would go against them. And I would at least come in second. So I just imagined the white kids, they had their mom, dad, cousins, everything.
Right.
I didn't even have a person to help me sell the work because I didn't know. I didn't even know how big that was. Now that I look at it, so young kids need people today that can. When they see talent, I see a lot of people in ghettos across the country have talent, but black people will walk past them like they're invisible. So I see why there's a lot of gang violence, even in South Chicago, New York, the Bronx, Dade County, Miami, Detroit, because of our own people. We can't wait on whites and other races to rescue. When I see talent, I try to advise them today, but people look at me like, is this real or he's just faking? So you got to be real with these kids, but you also got to hold them accountable. If they don't appreciate what you're doing for them for free, you got to move on until those that do want to rise and be somebody do appreciate your knowledge you're giving them, because a lot of them are wasting your time, I'm finding out.
Yeah, I mean, you have a wonderful testimony now. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. You know, this is kind of something serious. Now, you were telling me about a story, man, about how you started when you was in New York, and how did you get involved with the with 911 when that came out?
Oh, you talk well. When I left Chicago, one of the first people I met was actually the dream team of the OJ trial. I was the first guy that did the free OJ hat. That was, if you watched the news when it was coming on every day, Robert Shapiro, Bailey came. I was the guy holding the hat, giving it to all the dream team from Shapiro, Johnny Cochran, all of them. And then next 2 days later, they started merchandising all the things I put on the hats, putting them on t-shirts. But through that, Joe Jackson remembered me, seeing me down there, and then when I met him, Janet Jackson was doing the Velvet Rope show. You know, and when you were homeless, I got to be real with the people. I just didn't come out to L.A. and they open their arms. Celebrities, you invisible to them. If you by yourself and no team, you're not famous. You got to be famous for something or good at something for the black celebrities to even want to speak to you. So I was good at these hats. All through Chicago, I was good at these hats. I left the projects. They stole my car. I say, that's it. I'm leaving Chicago, going somewhere where it's warm. I went to L.A., dollars in my pocket, and went to the OJ trial. And then through that, people like that, Robert Shapiro, must have gave me like $3,000 for those free hats. And he found out through the bodyguard I was out there staying at the courthouse. There was no place to stay, so his bodyguard, Keno Jenkins, told him, and he gave me enough money. I got my first little studio apartment and got off my feet. Because he did that, I'm going to hang down here till the trial is over and just support whatever Shapiro. Johnny Cochran didn't do nothing. It was actually Robert Shapiro, the man who owned Legal Zoom. Johnny Cochran, he didn't do nothing. None of the brothers down there. It was Robert Shapiro. Amazingly, that was amazing.
That was.
He pulled the money out in front of all the news people to prove it. You can look at the old footage. And then he told him, "Can I talk to this guy by myself?" And then I took that money, got a little studio apartment. A white guy showed me a place to get in Hollywood. Cheapest rent in the world, $200 a month. And I stayed in there. I had that tiny place where some of the biggest stars from Mike Tyson, and where I got it at were all the hot clubs, where all the stars, NBA players, Shaq, Kobe, all of them would party at, and it's up the street from Roscoe. So if I said I can get the place still be in South Central, or get a place in South Central that's bigger, but they might shoot me trying to make it home, but I'll be safe in Hollywood on the street where all the transvestites at, but it's safe. So I say I'll be safe and I can still be around the celebrities. And that's how I met the Jackson. Joe Jackson, met him. I invited him to my place, and he said, "Wow, you doing all this stuff at the Velvet Rope?" Going back to the Velvet Rope tour. I'm the king of crashing in places, so I got to meet him. And then I met Catherine. I gave her a long note telling my story. She didn't care, but Joe Jackson cared. The most evil person cared, so he invited me. Not the nice people, the evil people that are lonely. I found out he was lonely in life. None of the kids came around to visit him. So he took me in like, you're staying in this little tiny place. Why don't you do something bigger if you was in a bigger place? So it took me a year to move in with him because I was like, well, I heard he's slick. I heard he's that. So I finally did it when his wife said, oh, yeah, I heard you and him are friends and stuff like that. So once she knew, I figured it was cool to be in. And lucky I did because I found out she was paying all the bills because he didn't have no money.
Wow.
Yes. He was paying all the bills. So she was. Her name was on every letter I got at the mailbox. But put in your head like it was his. But she paid for everything. So in respect, I cleaned the house, made sure everything was clean. We didn't have a maid. I organized everything for him. When his own daughter, who was living there, didn't do nothing, keep the house filthy, and brought people in the party. So I cleaned it up like a respectful person, because anytime a celebrity or anybody open their house up, I feel you should show you can do something while they let you stay there. And that's how I lasted a long time with that family, because they saw that I was loyal. But don't believe me. Set a lot of traps trying to see if I steal coming from the project.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. So yeah, I mean, that goes to my question about how you became assistant to Joe Jackson, and I guess that's one of your stories, how you became his assistant for what 12 years?
Well, how I became assistant?
Joe Jackson.
The white America and a lot of the Jewish people in Hollywood thought that he was still tight with Michael and Janet. So they would use him, invite him to all these award shows, this and that, only hoping that he could turn them over with Michael and Janet. He knew he wasn't talking to neither one, but the world, like, because he was the father, they figured, well, if I be nice to Joe, he could. I said, Joe, we've been going to all these Latin families, the white awards, all this stuff. Not one of those white people invited you or did nothing for you other than take pictures of you and use them to catapult their career. I said, why don't you go to the BET? And they're like, oh, man, that's a bunch of niggas. I said, yeah, but you got some rich black niggas. You got T.D., you got Jay-Z, you got Dame Dash, you got Birdman. And once I showed them magazines, I had to get magazines to show them how much these guys were making. And a lot of the NBA players, he would see them and like, ain't nobody. I say, he must be, the team just gave this basketball player a $90 million contract or 100. I remember Jermaine O'Neal, and the first time I said, but he's worth, not Jermaine O'Neal, the guy from Boston, Kevin Durant. Garnett, $130 million or more. So when you say that, a bell ring, he like, hold on, he throw an anchor out his car and like, pull up. He like, hold on, I heard that. Let me speak it up tonight. Even when I introduced him to Venus and Serena, they didn't care nothing about them. I introduced them to the Serena. I said, but these are the hottest girls in fashion. Oh yeah, but they got big noses, big teeth. They need to take some of that money and do something with their teeth. Apparently they must have heard because they did it.
Well, hey, I mean, you had
but I was the one that the Black Hollywood don't know. I was the one that did my best to get the Jackson family really to invite them to the Neverland and things like that, because they didn't want to be bothered with those people, because the Jackson loved walking around with whites powerful people and like the Spielbergs or something like that,
Right,
even though they might not care about them. But it's looked at the reason why you see Oprah, Tiger Woods, Bill Cosby, all of them with the big names, because if you were just a black millionaire, it's nobody when you're the world famous Jackson family. So I did. The world doesn't know. I fought. That's probably why I got kicked out, because they like, you too black. You care about this, but these Negroes will sell you out the minute you give them a job. I say, yeah, but the Jews gonna keep helping their people, and the Germans gonna keep helping their people. I'm not gonna give up on Black America, even if they don't buy my fashion. I love being in my skin. Bobby Brown was right about that situation. I knew that situation when he talked about in the movie with Janet for years, because Janet had a big premiere. She was in the movie with Eddie Murphy. You remember that movie?
I remember Boomerang.
Yeah, the Crumps too. Okay, well, this is the world premiere. Eddie Murphy was there with his family at a table. Janet, she had her own table, but she only sat there with all Latinos, and she put her mother and all her nieces and nephews in a whole nother section, not even on the lot of Universal. It was in another little room crammed in, and when I walked in, they were like yelling my name, Catherine, Reedy, and all their grandkids. They're like, why y'all over here? How come y'all ain't sitting at the table with Janet? And everybody didn't say. They just was like, It was so sad.
Right, yeah.
But I love they didn't want to be seen walking around with me, but their own kids didn't want to. Michael threw a lot of parties, but he had Elizabeth Taylor. I went to him, even though I might crashed him, but I saw Elizabeth Taylor, his right hand, and Liza Minnelli. He didn't have time to be seen with his real family members.
Yeah,
and that's what people don't get.
Right, yeah, that's kind of sad right there. But let's move on. Let's move on to this. Let's move on to
how you do people. You can't use the race to get on top, and then you know Whitney Houston all the time. Her and Mariah Carey were hot as fish grease. They didn't have time for blacks. The minute they fell down the drain, they had to come back to the Chitlin Circuit and perform for blacks.
I know.
So you can't
but you know
back
what?
on black that got you there.
Yeah, I understand that. That's sad though. But I want to get a little bit to your clothing line. You have a fashion. You're a fashion designer. You have a clothing line. And how did you get started with your clothing line now? Now you're promoting your clothing line. And tell us a little bit about what's it about.
Well, it started because I'll tell anybody, don't waste. If you come out from a bad situation and come into black Hollywood, don't get into no promises. I don't care if the star is Floyd Mayweather. I've been around Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones, Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, the biggest stars. I remember the first time I met Tiger Woods and tried to talk with him. I'm the only black person at the party, and he saw me. He was sitting at a table with 8 Asian guys that he was paying for everything, and he saw me coming, and I was just going to speak. He took his cigar, put it in his mouth, and blew a cloud of smoke in my face like, nigga, be gone.
Oh, wow, man.
And he was taking pictures and buying his Asian friends food and drinks up there. They were the hottest club in Las Vegas. So that's when I said, you know what, why am I trying to talk to these celebrities? I got to promote me like they did. They just was the best at what they do, so I got to be the best at what I do. Then finally you'll be somebody in this world. If you're not good at something, black people, we don't care if the whites or other races, but black celebrities that's millionaires will not talk to you because their agents are mostly white or Asian. Or Jewish. They're going to tell you, don't talk to them. You over here with us with all the money. So if you want to keep that going,
well, you know what? It seemed like you had
over there with them.
Yeah, it seemed like you got.
They listen. They're owned by the managers.
Right. It seemed like you kind of had a rough time.
The manager owns their brain.
Right. A rough time doing this. But let's talk a little bit about the positive that came out of your situation. We got about 10 minutes left in the show. So let's talk a little bit about the positive that came out of you doing your fashion design. What kind of positive things could you say And to tell people,
I noticed the better I got in the designs and creation, like when I did Wanwear, I saw the celebrities that knew me 15 years ago suddenly, oh, I'm brand new because I created these new designs, and they like that. But when I came along with this black couture, which is Wan, it's like the Fendi, the Yves Saint Laurent, the Gucci, the Chanel, the Hermes, and Juan Ali, like the Louis Vuitton, the Yves Saint Laurent, the Givenchy, things those logos, the black celebrities who could have helped me years ago started saying, man, you got some dope fashion and such, you should do a fashion show in LA. We'll come out. I'm like, but I had the same talent then. And I realized I removed myself from Hollywood and started thinking like an inventor, Thomas Edison or Alexander Graham Bell or Steve Jobs. They just invented incredible products that when you show them, there's nothing like out there. Now you're somebody. So I said, okay, well, I can reinvent myself and gain back some of the years I lost being around a lot of celebrities who didn't care to say, I could use you, but I won't put you on your team. You know, I gave a lot of advice to Carl Jones of Cross Colors and Shaquille O'Neal with his Twism, talking with the Master P's and things like that. But when people see you by yourself, they say, oh, he's not tied to nobody. We can absorb all this free knowledge because he like us. We're celebrities. He'll give it away for free because he just be around us. And that's probably why I hung around the Jacksons that long too, because Jermaine once told me I was like a brother to him, but he never put me on the TV show. He always used to say, you need your own show or you need this. But how you going to get your own show when you got all the connections and getting these shows, then they flop, they cancel you. Instead of bringing me in, they don't want you to shine. Like DJ Khaled said, you got to make yourself shine, and then they'll see that you can do this all alone. I tell anybody out there that's trying to get in with a celebrity, that ain't gonna happen unless you incredible basketball player making stats or a boxer making stats. You have to be the best in what you do. Like the fight that just happened with the Mexican guy, Canelo, or Pocket Mayweather. You got to be the best. Then they'll listen to you, at least. But when you start talking, make sure it's some incredible stuff, big stuff. That way the big stars or investors will listen to you. Because investors and celebrities only want to listen to big things. You got to understand they're around billionaires. So billionaires don't talk small-time stuff. They only talk big things. So when you're talking big ideas and you're great at what you're doing, they're going to keep listening. So you only need that one to say, I believe in this guy's movement, his products, and you're on your way to be the next whatever.
Okay,
well,
that sounds real good. Working. Yeah, that sounds good, Juan. Quickly, I think we only got probably around about 4 or 5 minutes left of the show. Now, when 9/11 happened, tell me quickly a little bit, how did you become a volunteer for that tragic event, that 9/11? You was there in New York, you was telling me, and how did that come about?
Well, Jermaine kept telling me that Michael, he told him about what I was doing. You know, it's funny, people finally tell certain members, the big people be standing next to the guy who can change your life for years, but then finally tell them about you when they finally up against the wall. So Michael needs to pull out all the strings to make his show the dopest show ever, since he was, at that time, I think in his 40s or something. So he got NSYNC. Britney Spears was supposed to perform there too, but they cut her because they didn't like the way Britney Spears was walking. So they even canceled Britney Spears. She was supposed to be on that show. She was supposed to be the one walking with Michael, but her performance was so bad, they cut her and got a pretty model to do it who crushed it. But so they called me, Jermaine called me, oh, Michael, they need you up here. I said, you could have flew me out when y'all left here. Y'all knew y'all was going up there. They tipped out the house without me to leave me behind. So I had to take my money to fly up there. Michael wanted me to bling out the microphones. Nobody was blinging out microphones or me. I was doing that at the house. So I had these blinged out mics. Now you see Wendy Williams, all these people got blinged out microphones. I was always ahead of my time.
Okay.
So Michael wanted all 5 of the mics blinged up. So I said, oh man, this was some last minute stuff, some ghetto stuff. The Negro could do like the slave, the last minute stuff, do that. I'm like, how am I do all that? And one day, and then I got to fly myself there with my own money and whoop-de-whoop, don't know where I was going to stay. So I got there, and Jermaine let me stay in his room. He had one big suite down the hall from Michael's suite. Yeah. With all the grandkids in there staying with them. The grandkids were amazing. So they knew what I did and took care. I used to give them advice when people was taking on them.
Okay, so how did you, because we really got 3 minutes left before we have to end, but how did you get with the 9/11? What made you? Oh yeah, well, because I only got a chance to work on Jermaine Jackson's stuff he was wearing. And then the next day, they wanted to go to the towers, but they waited too late. I was already out there. You know, I'm in New York. I want to get some pictures of stuff before it's over with. Right. So I'm walking and I see the tall building on fire. Oh, wow. It's on fire. And, you know, me coming from Chicago, we don't feel nothing. I'm walking closer and closer. I'm not going farther away. So the first building, I see it falling down. So the smoke goes, they got the police barricade, everything. But I get around the police barricade and get closer. And then I'm finally there with all the nurses and police. Right. And I was the only black guy there volunteering. It's 30 minutes, 50 minutes after the first tower fell. So I just started volunteering for 2 days. Wow, wow. Until George Bush came, they got us out of there when George Bush came and brought in the real volunteers for that they get paid to do that stuff. Right, wow. What a story, man. That's how that happened. Yeah. I was a volunteer, ground zero. Yeah, I'm working on my book, too. My book is the day after MJ, 9/11. So people look out for the book. Okay, yeah. You have a book out, and you're also having a blog coming out, too. Oh, yeah, my podcast. You can hear more of my stories with Black Hollywood and even with my time with Brad Pitt, Angela Jolie on Wan TV. My first episode is this Wednesday. You can guys watch the first one on WanAli.com, which is my name, WANAL.com. And Wan TV is the show. Episode 1 will be BET. All the stars I'm with at BET Week. Okay. Even though it's yeah. We'll definitely be looking out for that, man. Hey, Juan, it was a pleasure, man. I appreciate you giving us this half hour, talk a little bit about your life and how you started in the fashion business. And we're going to be looking for anybody up there with talent. Get with me. Just call me up, 702-444-5159. WanAli.com. Okay, yeah, we got the website up there. People can hit you up and whatnot. And a pleasure, man. And you're welcome back to the Lyle Style Show anytime, man. And I want to say thank you for doing this and giving us your insight in how you started, man. I appreciate it, man. Okay. And we say thank you to you, and God bless your dreams. Well, thank you, brother, my friend. And we'll be in contact, man. We have to talk a little bit more. No problem. God bless. God bless the world. God bless. You take care, okay? All right. All right. All right. Talk to you later. Wow. Well, that was my good friend Wan Ali. He's a fashion designer. He has his own line coming out. And as I say, everybody has their dreams. Don't never give up your dreams, like I say. Keep your dreams alive. Keep searching, keep doing good things. When people say you say yes. Because if you go hard work and you have faith and you trust God and keep it positive, you'll make your dreams come true. So I'm a believer of that. I want to say I love everybody. Thank y'all for watching the Lyle Style Show. The Lyle Style is going again. It's going in the UK next month. And we're going to UK next month pretty soon. And also we'll be doing some things with other networks. So I want to say shout out to my mom. I love you, Mom. Thank you for being supportive to me. I want to say shout out to my beautiful friend, real friend, you know she is. I love her. You know, you're a beautiful person, whatnot. Thank you for supporting me. And shout out to everybody that continue to watch the Lyle Style Show. Continue to do that, and we'll see you next time on the Lyle Style Show. This is Lyle Van Harris signing out. Keep it classy, always.